What is up, y'all, and welcome back to part 2 of the John Boat bass boat style build that we're doing. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure you check out the playlist on my channel and check out part 1. It'll kind of explain how we got to this point. Now for part 2, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be continuing to work on the casting deck. I got some more plywood. We're going to build the 2 covers and hatches for here, poly these, and then cut out carpet enough to fit them in here. And we're going to be working on the lower unit here for where people are going to sit. And then we're also, if we get time, depending on how in depth we go with this, we're also going to be working on mocking up the gas tank and battery box for the motor. Right now there's a 3.6 horse Hankai Amazon special motor on here. But we're actually going to be switching over to I believe it's a 25 horse Evinrude that we got off Facebook. Know nothing about it. Allegedly it runs. It hasn't ran in like 2 or 3 years. So probably gonna do a will it run on that, and that might be part 3, but we can still get everything else mocked up while we wait. But yeah, so I have this measured. We're gonna cut that out. These are 27 by 16 inch hatch covers. And then we're gonna be building actual inserts to go in here as well. So everything's not just flying all around the bottom of the boat. Also, if this thing does take on any water, it's not gonna be getting all of our gear all wet, and it can all just go right to the back and drain out the back. So yeah, I'm going to start cutting some stuff out. Just like last video, probably not gonna be doing a whole lot of videoing just because the heater's going. Once it gets a little warmer out, I'll definitely be able to video more, but I'm gonna be bringing you guys back for the key points and stuff in this video, so just stay tuned and we'll see how far we can get in this video. So one hatch of the 2 is done. I have that one cut out. Spray polyurethane on it. It's just drying right now. This one's done. Got 2 hinges on here along with a handle. Just lift up, all the room in there, and then it's tight enough where you just kind of give it an extra little whack and it won't go anywhere as we're going down the road or anything. Plus the way this is designed, you'd have to have a heck of a crosswind to get this thing to open anyway. So we got 2 of the 3 done. Just waiting for that to dry. We'll throw carpet on that, staple it all down. We'll get the hinges put on along with the handle, and that one will be done. So I got the second one done now. I'm actually standing up in the casting deck right now, and I am pretty much on the ceiling because it's not a tall garage. So that's why you're kind of getting a zoomed in view. But I got both of these in. They just pop up just like that. Go down, give it a whack. Same thing with this side. There will be inserts and everything in there as well. Reason I'm up here is just to show I weigh about 170 pounds or so. My whole body weight, including jumping on it, is holding it, and just the whole boat itself is moving. Same thing with this side. It's just 1/2 inch treated plywood that's got polyurethane on it, and then on the inside there is borders to help hold it all around as well. And then up there it's the same story. It's a little bit bigger hatch, but I'm still on that one, and that one's just sturdy. Next thing we're going to be doing is going to be installing some recessed cup holders. These are Walmart brand recessed drink holders. They're like $3 each. There's gonna be 2 in the front and 2 in the back. The only reason I'm only doing 4 is because, well, I bought out Walmart stock of 4 and I don't really feel like going back and buying more. So the plan is to put 2 up in the front here. This place is kind of some unused space right here, and then it'll actually sit down in there a little ways. We're gonna do 1 on the other side, and then 2 back there. I just haven't figured out exactly where we're gonna do it yet. So yeah, let's get to that. My plan is to trace the bottom part here, and I know the bottom part's a little smaller than the top part. We're gonna trace that out, cut that out, and then we're just gonna use like a Dremel and Dremel it out until this can sit pretty flat in there and pretty tight as well. Because the only thing that's gonna be holding this is 1, gravity, and then 2, just how tight we get it in there. And then the carpet will also kind of help keep a little bit of a friction style thing to help kind of keep it in there a little bit. Made a bit of a mess between the carpet and all this, but the first one's done. Just got 1 more to put over there, and then we'll figure out where the other 2 go eventually. But this thing is not going anywhere. Like, even if I push on it underneath it, it's staying there. So that's good. Got 1 cup holder. Get the hatch down. I'll just look like that. So when we're fishing, won't trip on it hopefully, but it can hold our drinks and stuff like that when we're out fishing. All right, so excuse the mess, because next thing I'm gonna do is actually clean up the shop a little bit here. But both cup holders are in the front. We still gotta build the front casting deck area here that will hold the trolling motor when I get one of those. That chair is not for this boat. That chair is for actually that. If you look forward to if you look for a video I posted about 2 months ago, we actually removed one of the chairs out of the ice house and we build a nice platform in there for storage. But that has nothing to do with this video, but make sure you guys check out that video if you're interested in that. But yeah, both cup holders in here. And they're in pretty good spots here. They're not going anywhere. They're out of the way from we're fishing. Both hatches back here are done, other than a little bit of paint and stuff that needs to happen on the insides along with the inserts. But the casting deck itself up front is done. We still gotta obviously do paint and stuff like that and build that front part, but for the casting deck itself, until we start adding accessories like rod lockers and stuff like that, this is as far as we're gonna go. Next thing we'll be doing is building this part right here. It's just open metal under here and more tools that I've been looking for. So we're gonna kind of get to building that, but I need to clean this place up because it looks like a bomb went off. I got a tons of scrap wood and everything that needs to be burnt. And then I probably actually put that motor on the back of here too, just to see what it looks like. So last night, Old Man Winter decided to show up again, so I am in snow pants again. But yesterday we got the hatches done, not the inserts, but the hatches themselves done. Cup holders done, and then we trimmed off this carpet until we get the rest of this built, and then we'll use the rest of this carpet and add in. Today we're going to be removing this motor off of here and putting that 25 horse on here. The transom board, it looks like it's in bad shape, but it's actually in pretty good shape. This one probably could be replaced, but it's still solid for now. That's not going to stay on there forever because this whole boat's getting painted black and gray. But I want to mock it up to figure out, you know, where we need to put our control panel, how big of a battery box we need. Gas tank's going to be on that side. I think we're going to go with a 3-gallon gas tank just for right here, something small. The lakes we're going to be using this thing on, they're not going to be huge lakes. So we're going to do that. This thing will probably either go on another boat my brother-in-law's picking up, or it'll just be shoved off to the side as a nice little backup for us. You can definitely tell there's been a few additional motors on this boat at a time. So, but before I do that, I need to clean this place up a little bit. I got the boat itself cleaned out for the most part other than vacuuming, but there's tools everywhere. And we're not gonna try to start that motor today. It's 23 degrees. It feels like 11 out here. And I don't have a working hose right now because it's still frozen. So yeah, so we'll put it on there, mock it up, and then once we get some more consistent days, the hose thaws out and everything, then we'll be able to fill up a tub and start that thing. But there's no reason to risk the block with everything freezing the way it is right now. We're gonna call that good enough for cleaning for now, because we're just gonna continue this project and it's just gonna get dirty, but at least we have a place to work on stuff if we need to, and we're not gonna be chipping over stuff on the floor for the most part. I already took off the Chinesium motor. It's sitting back there on the floor. You guys are gonna watch little 5'10", 160-pound me try to lift that motor onto the back of this thing. I have no idea how much this thing weighs. My brother-in-law dropped it off. He is like 6'2", 220, and like a heavy equipment operator, so he's actually like kind of built, and he was having issues with it. So I'm not excited for how heavy this thing's gonna be. So yeah, that'll be fun. I have picked up a couple parts, or I had some parts laying around that we're gonna use for this. I got a battery cutoff switch that I got for the Jeep a while back, but I wound up going with a different style one, so we'll have that for this. And then I have some accessory mounted, they take the accessories, battery terminals for like lights and stuff like that, because right now the battery cables that are on here are like jumper cable style. So I had to do a little more research. I I'm really new to boats. I haven't done a whole lot with boats, so I'm not sure exactly how all that works. That's electric start and pull start, and then it's carbs, so I don't know why it would need a battery hooked up to it all the time, which is probably why it's had jumper cables. But we're going to be running other accessories and like a battery charger in here along with the 12-volt battery, and probably two actually, because we're going to be running a trolling motor up front as well. So yeah, I'm going to switch the camera around, and then you guys are going to watch me try to move this thing onto the boat. All right, I'm not going to lie, I kind of cheated. I moved the boat up a little bit to make it a little easier for me to actually get the motor on there. I'm not really even sure how to even grab this thing. I don't know how much the thing weighs, but it's pretty heavy. Well, it looks pretty sweet on there. I think it's a long shaft too for how well this thing's sitting, so we may need a jack shaft or jack plate. Not jack shaft, jack plate. I haven't figured all that out yet. Basically just going off of Facebook knowledge and physics at this point. But let's keep going on this project. So got the motor put on here. I've worked on a lot of motors in my life. This is a whole new animal. The carb's free, which is good. Everything's pretty sticky. Carb's free anyway. So that's good news. I've never really seen like a blade carb like that before, so that's kind of weird. Everything looks okay. It's got a pull start up top. Seems to have plenty of compression. Looks like a 2-cylinder, 2-stroke motor. If anyone knows what year this is, put down in the comments. I know it's an Evinrude. The cover looks like this for anyone who might be able to know just what the cover. It's a fiberglass cover. So there's some other placards and stuff on here, but I'm definitely gonna have to do some research to kind of figure out how all this works, because this is a whole new ball game to me. There's the serial number for anyone who might be able to help out in trying to figure out what this thing is. If anyone has any tips and tricks for it, let me know. But we're gonna get back to the actual purpose of this video. We're gonna start building everything back here. It's electric start, so this needs to be mounted, as well as we need to figure out a battery box for it. Gas tank's gonna be over here. All the electrical stuff's gonna be over there. It was originally flip-flopped until I put it on here. Fuel lines are gonna come out of here. All the control panels, stuff like that will be over there. And then we'll get to this, but we're gonna get this done here first. So the first thing we're gonna do, obviously, we're gonna brace the bench here with 2x4s like we did all throughout here. Bolt them on, and then we'll kind of be able to build off that. So I have both the 2x4s ran for the outside of the benches to kind of help add a little bit more rigidity to that part of it. Looking at how I'm gonna do the floor here, I'm thinking we use these 1x4s. We run the 1x4s along the bottom here. Same thing right here. And then this part here is about 1 inch taller than this one. So a 2x4 sits across there really nice. I think we'll run stringers on the end here, and then 2 2x4s here. And then we're gonna run the floor even with this piece right here, so it'll be flat. And then all the open wall parts, like right here, are just gonna get bed lined. And then we'll lay marine grade plywood over this, put carpet over here, more or less just be somewhere to stand where your feet aren't gonna be, you know, if you're barefoot or whatever, you're not gonna get into these rivets, or, you know, if the metal gets hot, you're not gonna be cutting your feet up on the metal. And then we'll probably put another piece of plywood over the top of this, because this bench is definitely worn for sure. I mean, you can kind of just see it moving. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this is definitely the most worn bench in the entire boat. So I'll probably add a piece of plywood over here. And then back here is gonna be pretty simple. We're just gonna put a little control panel here with a battery box, or on that side, sorry. On that side to run all the electrical. Nothing terribly crazy or anything like that. And then up in one of these, we're gonna put a rod holder, net holder, stuff like that. We just gotta kind of figure out where everybody's gonna sit when we're getting out there. This is pretty much gonna be strictly a fishing boat, obviously, even with a 25 horse on the back. It's gonna be just getting out there to fish, nothing special. Okay, so we have the new floor in here. I didn't bolt anything to the bottom of the boat because obviously we don't want to put a hole in the bottom because that's how boats sink. So right now it's just being held in by gravity, and then it'll get connected to these and this. We need to coat this with poly. The bottom's already done, we need to do the top. And then I need to put in a filler panel right here, filler panel right there, and then we'll be able to add carpet to this as well. I need to get a piece of plywood for right here, and then we'll be able to kind of continue that carpet up until right here. We're not going to continue it back. Most of this is going to get left open because where all the mechanical stuff's happening, and we'll also kind of be able to gauge if we are taking on any water. It should all come back here where the drain plug is, and I'm probably going to wind up putting a bilge in here as well. Not 100% sure yet, but let's get those filler panels done, get that polyed, and then we'll be able to add carpet, and this thing will really start looking like it's coming together. All right, so we're changing it up just a little bit more for looks, not for usability, just because I think it would look a little cooler. And you know, as you build stuff, you tend to change stuff a little bit. So, little update. I got the filler panel on the bottom. I still gotta make the one for the front. Currently still letting this dry. I polyed it, and then I just spray painted it just to give it that extra little bit of protection. But instead of laying a piece of plywood over the top of this, what I'm gonna do is I have a bunch of this 1x4 pine that I'm going to cut out into 13-inch slats like that, and we're actually going to do a whole bench, and then I'm going to stain it kind of a darker stain, and then poly over the top of that, so it'll be weather protected. But I think it might just look kind of cool as well, having that natural wood look in it, because it is such an old boat. With the carpet and everything, I think it might just give it that extra little look that I'm going for. I have about 10 feet of that left or so we'll see how much I can get for that. We'll probably get about 9 of them, and I'm going to guess this will probably take 15 or 16, so probably need another one of those. But I'm going to cut out the last filler piece, and then we're going to lay that carpet in here, and we're going to staple that carpet right here, cut it off right here, so as we put the slats down, it'll just be that extra little force down to kind of help hold that carpet in as well, and it'll make it look a little less seamless, or make it a little more seamless look to it as well. I'm sorry, I butchered the hell out of that, but I think you guys can get what I mean. And then we'll eventually get to the stuff back here. I'm just trying to get this done first, because once we know about how much the boat weighs itself, we can figure out how much spray foam we need to spray in here too to kind of help with the flotation and stuff like that. So let's get that last filler piece in, let's get the rest of the carpet in, and then let's see how far we can get on the bench slats. So floor's in here, super solid. I have all this. This is just gonna be a little overhang. There's gonna be a lot of gear and stuff mounted here, so I'm not terribly concerned about how this looks. It is stapled in, as well as there's some screws holding down the flap here, and then staples all up under there, and then screw per board holding the carpet down here. I need to get a little more 1x4s, and then we're going to sand this, because I'm going to be sitting on this, and I don't really want to get slivers on the back of my legs. And then back here will be, obviously, controls. We've been over this. But yeah, so I'm just debating whether or not I want to put something here as a little storage thing. I know I was going to put cup holders back here. Maybe I will still. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it yet. There are a couple extras sitting up there. But yeah, that's as far as we've gotten right now. I'm going to see if I have any more 1x4s. I can finish up that bench, and then we'll sand that. So it's something a little different with the bench. This way, it's kind of equal for like 2 people sitting on there. Obviously, I'm going to be sitting over here. running the tiller, but we can stick Brooks up there and there's a little seat divider in the middle there. I'm gonna sand that down now. We're not gonna sand it today because it's, I mean, you can see there's still snow outside. But we'll be ready for paint here soon. All right, guys, that is as far as we're gonna get in part 2 of the John Bass Boat build. Part 3, hopefully we'll be getting that thing running. Or we'll do like a will it start, will it run kind of thing on it. Just waiting for it to warm up a little bit. Obviously there's a little bit still to build back here, but I need to make sure that thing works before I put any time building any of the motor components, because if we need to, we'll throw that Hankai back on here, which is a very much simpler system. This should be a little quicker, but that other one's a much simpler system. But yeah, so in this video, we got the rest of the floor done, including the back bench back here, and a few other just minor things here and there. Some of the parts coming forward, we'll do the will it run next. We'll be painting this boat black and gray, and then eventually we need to give the trailer a little bit of attention too. So like, comment, subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell to see when I post. Like I said in part 1, I work on this thing when I get time. It's not going to be consistent posting, anything like that. It is currently like March 5th or something right now. This obviously isn't going to get put out on March 5th, but right now it's March 5th. It's like 11 degrees outside. We got plenty of time before open water hits and fishing season opens. So we will hopefully have this ready around that time, or at least we can do some testing on it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll get you next time.